Greetings, 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 everyone. Thank you all for tuning in and welcome to another edition of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. I am Yah-Tay Keaton, also known as Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist. We are here with episode number 30 of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. And tonight's episode is entitled Barber School 101 and 201 from Classroom Clippers to career cuts. So I'm gonna share some videos. I'm gonna share some images tonight, but tonight is dedicated to those who are considering barbering school, who are entering in their first year in barbering school, if they're going through the vocational program at their high school. And I'm gonna tell y'all how I had the material down, but I got the inspiration from something I did over the weekend. So I'm gonna tell you about that. Anywho, um, it is for people who are considering barbering school, and I'm talking to females out there who are considering a career in barbering. I am also dedicating this podcast to those who are in their first year of barbering school. And let me be more specific about what I mean in your first year. Because if you're in a vocational program that's outside of high school, then you may go anywhere from 11, 12 months to maybe 18 months. If you're doing OJT, it may be a little bit longer than that, and the requirements are a little bit different. You have to look at your state's LLR in order to find out what the requirements are for that. But back to what I was saying in reference to first year. So that part of that segment, what I call 101, is geared towards them. Those students who are actually taking barbering and or cosmetology within their high school, a junior and senior year in high school, as an elective of the trade skill vocation. So they start in their junior year, then go the next year in their senior year. So that's why I said 101 and 201. And for those who are actually entering in the program via your local Barber Institute, Barber Academy, Barber School, whatever it is they call it, I want to invite you in. I got some things that I want to share, some personal experience. I have some clips that I found that I think will be very, very helpful with some of the material that I'm going to share. Y'all know I'm a teacher, so I'm not an instructor yet, but I'm working on those licenses. But nonetheless, I've taught 2 states, 3 different counties, 6 years. I subbed, and I absolutely love subbing. Some people don't like it. Who subbed before, they may not liked it. They might have had different reasons for doing it, but I actually enjoyed subbing, and I'll tell you why. I enjoyed it because once I got my core schools for elementary, middle, and high school, I stuck with those particular schools because I built relationships with the staff, the instructors, the teachers there, as well as the students. So even though it might have started out kind of difficult for me, it ended up working out because whenever I showed up, the kids knew who I was. So it wasn't much of a challenge as it is if you get a sub coming in for the first time. Y'all know how kids handle subs. So I did experience that. However, I remedied that by selecting core schools, building relationships with those teachers and instructors, and just going to those particular schools. So yes, let me look at the comments because we got some people chiming in. Hey, Ladosha, peace and blessings. Thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. I saw your video today. I said I wish I was there in Cleveland, Ohio, so that I could help out with the back to school special, which is actually what inspired me to go ahead and take this information off paper and kind of put it forth. So the inspiration behind this episode The topic is Barber School 101 and 201, from classroom clippers to career cuts. So I actually, let me put up the banner, the ticker, so folks will know when they, tuning in. There we go. We got it up. We got it up. So with this episode, I've already introduced myself. Y'all know I'm a Navy veteran. I'm a barber stylist, certified life coach. I'm a trained paraprofessional. I was trained in Duval County with their school system to work with special needs, autistic children, and those children who had sensory, um, I say just sensory challenges or concerns. Um, I'm also an award-winning author. My book is A Heritage of Hair. Um, that talks about the journey of me getting into the hair industry, how I actually was introduced to it, what was the life-changing event that put me, I like to say, back on course to it. Because I grew up in it, I had the exposure. I was a shop baby, all of that good stuff. But nonetheless, my book talks about that. And speaking of that, I said award-winning author. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all this. I won for my book cover design, first time author, and published with a purpose. So it talks about my journey into the hair industry. But let's get back on to the subject. This is episode 30. I'm going to share some points, some tips with you for those who are considering it, those who are in the high school program, and those who are out in the barber academies or local schools and institutes within your community. So as I mentioned, how I got started, well, how I really pushed to go ahead and do this particular episode. Well, one is back to school. Two, I recently got nominated to be on the board of a barbering program here locally. And we had our first back to school event on yesterday. So I showed up as a board member to support the students and, of course, the staff. And I got my hands, I won't say dirty, but I got them clean because I did a shampoo on one of the students that showed up to receive a back to school haircut. Local news did cover it. I want to thank Arthur for the invitation, and Mr. King Abdullah as well, and the principal there at Hayward Career Technology Center. But nonetheless, that was the inspiration behind this. We also talked about some things yesterday. Let me share this with you because I got into action yesterday with the students and helping out. And I also got to talk to some of them too. One young lady whose brother came in for a haircut. She had cut his hair with, she called them scissors. We professionals call them shears, but she probably did. I said shears, but she probably did use some scissors. But nonetheless, we talked about it. She said she was interested in it. I shared some pointers with her, which brings me to, speaking to those of you who are considering it, high school, your local program. I would like to say, if you are in high school and you are a sophomore going into your junior and senior year, or you may be a junior and trying to decide on if that's something that you want to do, I would say get into it while you're in high school. Here's the first reason. The cost is much less. Much less. On average here, it runs about $650, $675, somewhere in there. It's under $700. Whereas if you go to your local Kenneth Schuler Paul Mitchell or one of the local schools, you're going to pay double, triple. You're gonna pay. I'm just gonna say that. I know when I went through for the master's program, master hair care program that I did, my ticket was 21,600. Yeah, $21,600 for my program. So if you're a student that's in high school, you're still in high school, I would strongly advise you to go through your local high school program. They're excellent teachers. You know, you get great training. You stretch it out over the 2 years, so you really get to, you know, get in and hone in on your skills. The classes are very small, so take advantage of that. The other thing that I want to say with that, um, success in that barber program starts when you enroll. That's the first step, and the career paths are endless with that as well. So I want to share this video with you that talks about that. If you're thinking about it, I found this one here on our TikTok. Let me remove this. And this is my favorite podcast. Thank you, LaDosha. I appreciate it. Thank you. And let's go with this first video that I'm going to show you. So y'all tune in to see what this
and hard work.
okay?
Approach your education with a positive mindset and commit to learning and honing your
Let me see if
skills.
we can
Practice.
rewind this back. Hold on. Let's start it over.
If
Go
you're
ahead.
considering attending barber school or you're already enrolled, here are some tips to help you succeed. Be committed. Barber school requires dedication and hard work. Approach your education with a positive mindset and commit to learning and honing your skills. Practice regularly. The key to becoming a skilled barber is practice. Take advantage of those practice hours provided by your school and spend extra time practicing outside of class as well. The more practice, the more confident and the more proficient you'll become. Pay attention in theory classes. Barber school not only teaches practical skills, but also covers theory subjects like sanitation, anatomy, and business management. Paying attention in these classes is crucial as they provide important knowledge that will help you succeed in barbering.
Y'all see that trophy? So she talked about a few things. I'm going to rewind
If you're
for the
considering
first
attending
point because I
barber
kind of
school
want
or
to
you're
break it
already
down a little
enrolled,
bit.
here's some tips to help you succeed. Be committed. Barber school requires dedication and hard work. Approach your education with a positive mindset and commit to learning and honing your skills.
Okay, she talked about commitment. When you decide to take that step, it's going to take commitment. You're going to have challenges. Life is going to happen. Things are going to happen, but it's going to take commitment. You're spending your money, especially for those of you who have chosen to go within the community. You spending some money, so you want to be committed to getting it done. So it's going to take commitment. And I'll tell you, whenever challenges come up, when challenges arise, remember your why. Your why is going to, I hope, keep you going during those times when you don't feel like it. You're getting discouraged, you're getting frustrated. Remember your why. So stay committed. Let's finish this.
Practice regularly. The key to becoming a skilled barber is practice. Take advantage of those practice hours provided by your school and spend extra time practicing outside of class as well. The more practice, the more confident and the more proficient you'll become. Pay attention.
Okay, so she said practice. It builds confidence. It builds, with the repetition, it builds skill. So you want to practice, practice, practice. She say take advantage of the time you have in school when you get on the floor. You're getting those customers in. She also talked about outside of school. So that means, you know, asking your family members, asking your friends, you know, letting people know, hey, I cut. Give me a chance. You know, help me out here so that I can build up my skill set, which ultimately builds your confidence and also helps you to hone in on those skills. It took me some time because y'all know I went through during COVID, but nonetheless, I got it in. So commitment, repetition, or putting in the time. And the last one she talks about
And
here.
theory classes. Barber school not only teaches practical skills, but also covers theory subjects like sanitation, anatomy, and business management. Paying attention in these classes is crucial as they provide important knowledge that will help you succeed in barbering.
Okay, so theory, that's your foundation. You get practicum and theory in this vocation. The theory part is the nuts and bolts of things. Okay, so you want to ensure that you get that foundation. And I'm gonna say you start prepping for your exam time you get in now, because time is gonna fly and it's gonna pass by so fast, and you're gonna be like, it's time to you go to state board. Yes. So sanitation is gonna be key. It's something that they're going to look for when you go to take state board. You're going to be tested on it in theory as it relates to it. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. But nonetheless, those are some tips that I wanted to share with those of you who are considering barbering school. All right, commitment, putting in the time, and also paying attention to the theory side of things. So if you're considering it, go ahead, step out there. You know what you got to lose. I'm gonna say win. You got everything to win. And I got a video that I'm putting together. Well, not a video. I'm preparing to do another episode on some tips for those of you who are considering barbering school. I want to kind of break that down and talk about, even though I grew up in it, I didn't go into it. So my sister went into it, but then she left out of it. She actually got licensed and then decided, I don't want to do this. And then went into nursing, and she's been a nurse now for, I think this might be her 19th year. It may be 20th, somewhere around in there. She over 15 and she's getting close to 20, but she started out as a cosmetologist and then decided that wasn't what she wanted to do or had a passion for. She loved babies, was fascinated with the reproductive system. So she ultimately became a nurse and has been in labor and delivery actually since she passed and got into the field. That was what she went into, and that's what she been in. And she know it like the back of her hand. But anywho, so I will bring that forth in the coming episodes. I might put it up next week since we're back to school and it's kind of fresh. So part one of this two-part 101 and 201 is first year students, and we're talking about high school and or your local, whatever your local high school is. And I know most vocational programs, if you go out when you've already graduated and you're going into a community program such as a state-run program, like back home is the P-TECH, Pinellas County Technical Center, that offers it amongst other vocational courses. So your local school. The first thing I want to say with that is you're going to learn before you earn. Now, you'll earn some tips, but in terms of earning, as you're providing the service, you're going to learn before you earn. Like I say, you might get a few tips here or there, but just like anything, you got to learn it. You got to learn it. You got to put in the time. Like I learned by watching my mom. I honestly, y'all, when I got in barbering school, I felt like it, except for the clipper work, it felt like I had done it before because I had watched it so much as a child. And if you read my book, I talk about me doing a jerry curl and not even having license. So you got to get the book to hear about that story. But I literally was doing a Jerry curl and didn't have any license. So, anywho, I learned the basics from my mom before I ever touch a client or clippers. So, your foundation is your future, and you want to set a good foundation. You want to lay a good foundation because that's what you're going to build upon as you progress through the program and ultimately out in the field. So you learn before you earn. And with that, I want to share some tips by this barber named Tay. Her handle is Tay Cuts on TikTok. So let's share this one here.
This video is for you.
So hold
I've been a
on.
barber for almost 2 years now.
Hold on, y'all. Let me rewind because I was yapping with it. All right,
If
this
you're
is
thinking about
Tay.
picking up your first pair of clippers, or you just picked up your first pair of clippers, this video is for you. I've been a barber for almost 2 years now, and these are some things that I wish somebody would have told me when I first started out. Number one is going to be listen to everybody, but listen to yourself the most. With social media and the fact that being a barber is becoming a lot more popular, everyone's going to have something to say. Everyone thinks they have the cheat code, if that makes sense. And listen to all those people, because you never know what information is going to be vital to you. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's your business. Your business, your clientele, your craft, everything is yours. So at the end of the day, listen to you and you only, what you think is best for you. Number two is going to be stick to the fundamentals. Now, when I first started cutting hair, like when I picked up my first pair of clippers, I was just learning off of YouTube. And then when I went to barber school, I learned a completely different way to cut hair. And the way I learned in barber school worked better for me at the time. So when I feel like I'm getting lost in a haircut, or when I feel like I'm kind of doing a lot, I always go back to the fundamentals. Like the enhancements and all the extra stuff looks cool, and it is cool. Once you get the fundamentals down, then you can try any and everything. You could try the designs, you could try the enhancements, you could try the scissor work, you could try all the things. But you have to get the fundamentals down first, and always go back to the fundamentals if you feel like you're getting lost in a haircut. And number three, and I said this in a previous video, is going to be work on yourself, work on your mental, work on your spirituality, work on yourself. And I'm going to say it till the day I die. No one talks about it, but it's so important in the customer service industry. Being a good person, being confident, just bringing a bright aura to the shop you work at, or your studio, or wherever it is that you cut hair. You want to bring good energy, and you have to work on yourself to make sure you maintain that good energy, because you're going to be around a lot of energies with other barbers, clients, your clients. All those energies are going to be coming into your energy. You have to make sure that you're able to upkeep yours. You get what I'm saying? Number four is going to be money management, bro. This is something that I flopped on so bad when I first started making money cutting hair. I get some money and want to spend it, bro. Do not do that. Manage your money. Track your money. Make sure all of that shit, make sure no penny goes unaccounted for. You want to know where every dollar of yours is going.
Every dollar.
Because if you don't do that, you're going to be a broke barber quick. Enjoy what you do, man. Don't let the stress of trying to get rich quick, you know what I'm saying, take you away from your true purpose. Don't get so caught up in, oh, I'm going to be the best barber in the city. I'm going to be the richest barber in the city. I'm going to be a celebrity barber. That you forget why you got into it in the first place. But yeah, being a barber has really taught me so much about myself and about money, about dealing with people, the public. It's really taught me a lot. It really is a beautiful industry to be a part of.
All right, TikTok
man.
fam, we're watching a video over here on StreamYard.
But you got to lose.
All right, y'all. I want to back up and hit some key points that Tay talked about. That word again, foundation. She talked about foundation as it relates to the cut and getting lost in a cut. Go back to your foundation. She brought up some key points, and I'm glad. I actually reached out to her, y'all. But nonetheless, I told her I was going to use a video. She brought out some excellent points, and she's only been barbering for about 2 years. It's probably a little more than that because the video is a little older, but I thought the information in it was still relevant to my first year students, whether they be high school or even in a local program. You're still considered a first year. But with that, let's
About
let's
picking up your
let's
first pair of clippers or you just picked up your first pair of
let's. I
clippers,
want to point
this
out
video
some
is for you.
things here.
I've been a barber for almost 2 years now, and these are some things that I wish somebody would have told me when I first started out. Number
Y'all know the
one is
teacher
going to
me
be
is doing
listen to
this, right?
everybody, but listen to yourself the most.
She say, listen to everybody, but listen to yourself the most. That is key. Because a lot of times, I don't like to say a lot. Oftentimes, especially when you're young in the industry, you're open, you're soaking everything in. You want to be like a sponge and take everything in. And oftentimes, especially those who are a little more seasoned, who have been in the industry longer, who have been in different positions within the industry, whether it's management, ownership, um, they've 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Their information is valuable. They're coming from different perspectives. And sometimes because we look at the years of the position or where they are within that industry, sometimes we may allow that to override what we think or how we feel and what we know to be true about what's going on within us. I've experienced it. In saying that, listen, but never allow it to override what you know for you, because you know you better than anybody else. All right. So that's one thing that I want to share with that. And
Yeah,
there's a
social
couple more
media and
points.
the fact that being a barber is becoming a lot more popular, everyone's going to have something to say. Everyone thinks
She's
they
right.
have the
Everyone's
cheat
gonna
code.
have something to say. Hold on, let me fast forward a little
Getting
bit.
lost in a haircut or when I feel like I'm kind of doing a
This is the
lot,
next
I
one.
always go back to the fundamentals. Like the enhancements and all the extra stuff looks cool, and it is cool. Once you get the fundamentals down, then you can try any and everything. You can
She talks about the fundamentals. I see a lot of young people use, I call it the spray paint, the pencil, spray paint, whatever it is. They want the cut to look so sharp for the pictures, the Instagram, whatever it is they posting it for. And they got to remember, once that go away, if you don't have the fundamentals to set that shape up right, the outline, a lineup, or whatever you call it, set it up right. When they go home, hit the shower, and it washes away, the basic fundamental of that line that is not there. So learn fundamentals. Learn the fundamentals. Get those down packed and allow that to hey WK, thank you for joining. Allow that to be your enhancement initially. And then go in and elevate the cut with that. But don't solely rely on that to be your cut. Go back to the fundamentals. Like she said, you get lost in a haircut, go back. Step one, you know, you go back to the fundamentals. That's all I can say. Go back to the fundamentals. And the last thing that I want to say so we can move forward, share, she talked about
flopped on so bad when I first started making money cutting hair. I get some money and want to spend it, bruh. Do not do that. Manage your money, track your money, make sure all of that shit, make sure no penny goes unaccounted for. You want to know where every dollar of yours is going.
so money management. This is very, very important. You're gonna, depending on where you go into the business, how you get set up, um, some commission shops, some, if you go, depending on where you go, you can cosmetologists can go straight booth rental or open up their own space. Here in South Carolina, barbers and master hair care have to go through an apprenticeship program where they actually work under someone for a year before they can actually go in and have their own suite or their or well, they can booth rent and have someone within the shop oversee them per se for that first year, so they can do that. But they have to be with someone that is fully licensed that can sign off for them at the end of the year. So with that being said, you want to manage your money, know where it's going, because if you don't, you setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. And if that's all you do, you have no other income or no other job or second job, and that's the money that's keeping you going, you got to manage it. You got to pay bills. You got to take care of car, rent, house, whatever it is. You got to be able to take that and use it to take care of yourself, which is another thing she talked about. I'm going to get to that.
If you don't do that, you're going to be a broke barber quick. Enjoy what you do, man. Don't let the stress of trying to get rich quick, you know what I'm saying, take you away from your true purpose. Don't get so caught up in, oh, I'm going to be the best barber in this.
All right, let me fast forward a little bit.
The public, it's really taught me a lot. It really is a beautiful industry to be a part of, man. Like, if you're thinking about being a barber, bro, go for it.
I want to go back to
that you forget why you got into it in the first
my
place.
bad, y'all.
But yeah, being a barber has really taught me so much.
So she talked about basically investing in yourself. You got to take care of you. The better you are, the better you're able to serve your people. Spiritually, she said spiritually, mentally, physically, we stand anywhere 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, depending on how long you work during the day to take care of your clients. We're constantly standing, so we're wearing and tearing on our body. We got to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. Also taking care of ourselves so we can in turn be there for our clients. I talked about this on some previous episodes in reference to communication, conflict resolution, and being able to talk to our clients, engage with our clients, being able to read body language. If they are sitting in the chair and don't want to be bothered, then we got to know how to gauge and disengage or allow them to have the space. So taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually will ultimately help you be a better barber, be a better barber stylist, be a better cosmetologist, whatever your title is within the beauty and barbering industry. It will help you. Yah-Tay says here, money management is something I need to get back to. I've been wasting money left and right lately. This podcast is right on time for me. Thank you, Yah-Tay. I'm saving myself because I'm saving for something, and I'm gonna show y'all. So my tips, this is what I've been doing, and see, I got it right here. Apple. I'm gonna actually show y'all my tips. I got to put this in. My tips, I've been putting it away, taking it, putting it away. So I got to add this to the collection. I'm saving up for something big. I just say that. So when I get my tips or I get cash for a service, I'm saving part of it. I'm putting it away. But let me put this. I'm talking. She said it. I'm saving up for an item, a big ticket item that I want to get. But she's right. You got to save. You got to put away. So I'm putting away because I got to get that item, y'all. But nonetheless, LaDosha say, hey, Yah-Tay, that's smart. So what I have been doing is I put a percentage away, and the rest, goes to my expenses and things that I have to take care of. But I have a goal. It's the apple of my eye right now. Y'all see that? It's the apple of my eye. So I'm putting it away to achieve the goal. But nonetheless, I thought that Tay gave some excellent points. The previous young lady talked about sanitation. I want to say sanitation equals reputation. Clients look at that. I'm telling y'all, clients look at that. And I talk about that to a degree in my book as well, how my mom was as it relates to her clients and tidiness, because I was raised like that. Another point with our first year students: ask, practice, repeat. You ask a question, you practice it, you repeat. So my growth has come from asking questions and putting in hours of repetition. I got to tell y'all, so I shared with y'all that I went through school during COVID. We were shut down, so we lost a lot of floor time. So during our time home, I was working on a mannequin, and it's not the same as working on a human being. So let me remove this. It's not the same as working on a human being. So I was working on the mannequin. And then when I finally, passed state board, I got one-on-one tutoring, someone to assist me, because I was really, really nervous about taking state board, because I just felt like I wasn't prepared enough. So I got someone to assist me one-on-one with both the practicum and the theory portion of it. But I bring that up because I had to put in hours of repetition. I had to cut. And even when I passed and actually got into the field, I was going to say subbed. I volunteered at a homeless shelter. I would do some services, what lawyers say, pro bono. I would do things for free, put in the time, give it away. If the person just wanted to tip, give me some money, I was just like, just get a tip. Don't worry about it, because I really wanted to put in the time so that I can get my reps in. That's how you get better. Putting in the time, putting in the reps to do well, to hone in on your skills. And like today, I felt like I had a not so good day. Sometimes you're off, but even in that, you still got to remember your why. I love what I do, and in my case, I'm getting a second chance at my first love. I share that all the time. I'm getting a second chance at my first love. And the next thing that I want to share with students, and I'm sitting up tight here, look the part. Look the part. Even as a student, your appearance matters. It matters. And your appearance tells people that you are serious. It lets them know that you are serious. I can't say it enough. Your cut, your clothes, how you coordinate and present yourself, all of that stuff matters. And even in school, you're building your character as it relates to that. How you're going to view yourself, because guess what? You are your business. You're your business. They see you. You provide the service. You behind the calls. You behind the consultations. You're there with the clients. So once again, look the part. Look the part. People gonna treat you like how you present yourself. I'm just gonna say that. So even as a student, look the part. Your appearance tell people that you're serious. So those are the things that I wanted to share with you. Yah-Tay says here, appearance is very important. It speaks to people before you open your mouth to say anything. They will look at that first and it will stick in the mind. The old saying, first impressions. Oftentimes you never get a second chance on a first impression. So look the part. Look the part. How I'm going to look at you and you say you want to cut my hair, But I'm looking at you, even though the word on the street is stylists and barbers often don't, uh, they be the last ones taken care of because they taking care of everybody else. But you know, we still got to look the part. We still have to look the part as well. But as a student, you're laying your foundation, you're building upon that foundation, and you want to get in the habit of looking the part, because you never know. You might be out and someone compliments you on your hair. Oh, I'm a barber. Oh, I'm a stylist. But they looking at you like, are you sure? Really? It don't look like it, you know? So you want to, you're going to learn before some of the memorable points that I want the one-on-one, the first year students to take away. You're going to learn before you earn. Sometimes you're going to get some tips, but in the general sense of things, you're going to learn before you earn. Sanitation equals reputation. Clients are going to look at that. I talk about that in my book, how my mom kept abreast of that and was how I grew up with that. So not only did I learn it at home, the military training, and then when I got into barbering school, that was a whole nother level of sanitation and cleanliness that we had to maintain and keep up with. And besides, we got tested for it with state board. So we deal with the public, the health, safety, and welfare of the public. We gotta have it. So the next thing is ask, practice, repeat. Ask your questions, put that, put it to work, and then continuously repeat. Don't, no question is a dumb question. The only one that's dumb is the one that's not asked. You know what I'm saying? It might be other people in the classroom that have that same question but are afraid to ask the question. So go ahead and ask, because you might help somebody else sitting behind you. And LaDosha says, yep, they sit and look, and then corner station. Yes, corner station bathroom. The eyes be moving. They don't think I'm watching them, watching me, watching them. But yes, yes, I told y'all I won't let them sit down in the chair until I've sprayed, till I've swept. Yeah. So ask, repeat, ask, practice, repeat, and then look the part, please. Even in my smock and my scrubs, I look the part. I'm looking the part. I might look like a doctor or a nurse. Well, I'm nursing your hair and I'm taking your orders from your consultation on what to do. So I am the hair doctor. Anyway, LaDosha says here, let me see. She says they snapping pictures and blasting them. Yes, I've seen some stuff. Some bathrooms, a restroom. Sorry, restroom. Restrooms are in public spaces. Bathrooms are in residential. I should know that as an interior design graduate. So that's the first part. Part two, which is second year students. This is actually geared more towards high school students who are actually in the second year of the program, because they go in first year, 11th grade. And so when they're coming back their senior year, they're building upon the foundation that was laid, and they're actually prepping. They're probably on the floor by now if they got their acquired hours. For us, before we can get on the floor, it was 280 hours, I think it was, before we could actually get on the floor. So we had to even get the fundamentals in barbering school and get some things under our belt before we could get on the floor. But I will say this, in my barbering school, because I had a hair braider's, it's not a license, it's a certificate. I'm a registered hair braider as well. I worked on the floor under the direction of my instructor, because we had quite a few people come in from the community that wanted their hair braided, extensions put in. And at the time, we didn't have many people to assist her. And when she found out that I had my certificate, I was a certified braider, she I came on the floor to assist, section hair, braid down the hair when she started, just those types of things to assist her. So for second year students, I got another video which is going to talk about one of these points. Find your flavor, find your sweet spot, find what it is that you do. Like for me, when I found out that my school offered the Master Hair Care program, I went for that versus just barbering in general. So for me, I've said it before, being a master hair care specialist under the barbering umbrella, I have more clipper training. I am similar to a cosmetologist, except for on the barbering side. I have the extensive clipper training. I can use a straight razor, whereas a cosmetologist isn't able to use a straight razor. If they use a razor, it has to be one that's guarded, and normally they use those to frame, face frame hair and do all of that, cutting and magic that they do with hair, layering hair, making texture in the hair and all of that good stuff. So that's one of the differences between myself and a cosmetologist. But with that, find your flavor. For me, I knew that I wanted to cater to textured hair. Natural hair, everybody has natural hair. I'm learning from LaDosha in the Hair Oracle that everybody has natural hair, because I used to be the one to say natural hair. I still say natural hair, but honestly, my specialty is textured hair care, which is black hair, African hair, and even mixed hair. But my specialty is a textured hair care, where I work locks, braids, twists, anything dealing with natural hair. I'm braiding it up, locking it up, starting the locks, cornrowing it, two-strand twisting it, comb coiling it, all of those good things, shaping it, shaving it, cutting it. Anywho, again, find your flavor, find your niche, find what it is that you like, that you're drawn towards. You might be a colorist like LaDosha. LaDosha is a master colorist, and she can get down with some color. You should see her hair. Tune in to America's Favorite Podcast on Mondays and Tuesdays, and you can check out her hair. And her channel is LaDosha Wright. Let me put up her handle here so you can see her name. Just look for it on YouTube. It's called Planet Pluto Pseudo. I can't even think of the dang network. Put it up there, LaDosha, so I can put it up here. But find your flavor. And a heritage of hair, I shared that I found my lane, natural hair, and barbering. So I do a combination of both, because I won't be a one-stop shop. And I would look at the guys and like, you know what? I want to be able to cornrow their hair, start their locks, maintain their locks, and then shape them up, give them a bald fade, give them a drop fade, whatever. I want to be able to do it all, so they can come to me for one stop. They don't have to come over here to get their hair done and then go somewhere else. There it is, Planet Pluto Pseudo, Monday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's with LaDosha Wright and Cheryl Morrow, the Hair Oracle, LaDosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. It's on Planet Pluto Pseudo. That's on Thursdays, but you can still catch them both nights, Monday and Thursday. Monday 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as I was saying, find your flavor, find your lane. I said that I shared, in my book, A Heritage of Hair, that mine is natural hair, textured hair care, and barbering. you can find yours too. And it's going to be important that, well, it would be great if you could find it while you're in school so you can start zeroing in and fine tuning your lane. And then some may want to keep their options open and, you know, kind of explore a little bit. That's good too. But I knew what I wanted to do when I was getting out there. So that's why I say natural hair and barbering. But once again, you can find yours too. I want to talk about cutting quicker and staying sharp. There's a balance to that. Okay. But quality and efficiency are both key for our careers. People want quality, they want efficiency. Now you have places out there where they, you know, cut fast and, you know, get you in and out. But I'm going to show y'all this video. I'm going to show you this video, and it talks about cheap, fast, and high quality. You can get it cheap and fast, but you're going to sacrifice the quality. You can get it fast and you might have high quality, but what's the expense for it? So in other words, something is, you got to balance it. I'm just going to say you got to balance it. Be mindful of individuals' time, yet be efficient with quality. I'm going to say that. So let's take in this video here that talks about
this. You probably can't have all three of those things. When it comes to business services,
all right, let's rewind. There you go.
You want it done cheap and you want it done really well, you probably can't have all three of those things. When it comes to business services, you can really only have two out of those three: fast, cheap, or high quality. Now, this has two implications from the business owner perspective and from the person buying these services. If you're buying these services, which one do you prioritize? The quality? If so, it's probably not going to be done fast, or it won't be done cheap. If you want it done cheap, it could be fast, but it might not be high quality. So you have to pick which one are you willing to sacrifice. If you're the business owner providing these services, which one do you want to be to the customer? Do you prioritize high quality, or do you want to be the cheaper option, a little bit less quality, but able to provide that service really fast? So when you're going to make a decision, you have to understand what you prioritize and what you provide.
All right. So
you want it done fast, you want it done cheap.
I'm going to rewind that one more time.
Hold on. You can't have all three of those things. When it comes to business services, you can really only have two out of those three: fast, cheap, or high quality. Now, this has two implications from the business owner perspective and from the person buying these services. If you're buying these services, which one do you prioritize? The quality? If so, it's probably not going to be done fast, or it won't be done cheap. If you want it done cheap, it could be fast, but it might not be high quality. So you have to pick which one are you willing to sacrifice. If you're the business owner providing these services, which one do you want to be to the customer? Do you prioritize high quality, or do you want to be the cheaper option, a little bit less quality, but able to provide that service really fast? So when you're going to make a decision, you have to understand what you prioritize and what you provide.
All right, y'all. So here's the thing with quality, efficiency, quantity, being fast, being cheap. He broke it down better than I can explain it. You're going to sacrifice something. So decide what it is that you want to be known for, the services you want to provide. Just make a decision. Okay? Make a decision. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you start rushing through them cuts and them folks paying $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100, they're going to look at you like you crazy if you rushing them through it and trying to get their money and not giving them a great cut, at least. You know what I'm saying? Here go, LaDosha says, money and time are both illusions in the industry. I know, but we still gotta be mindful of that. That's my TikTok. Okay, TikTok, they say I got 4 minutes and 52 seconds. If y'all want to stay on, you got to hop on Instagram or Facebook or Real Roots TV on, I can't think, YouTube to continue the conversation, because I still got a few more points. If it cuts off, it's going to cut off on you. I want to say thank you to those of you who are on TikTok. that are tuning in. I'm getting better at that platform. I'm still new with it, but I thank you all for tuning in. Catch the replay on YouTube at Real Roots with the Z TV. And I want to say thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow button as well. And let me know if there's something that you want me to share. And any of my female barbers out there, please hit me up, because I would love to bring you on the podcast so that we can and share your story, share your anything that you want to share. I got you. Just hit me up. I appreciate y'all. All right. So for my Facebook fam, thank you all for tuning in. I'm not going anywhere yet. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there with me. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. See, this is what happens when you're one man, one woman show. Yeah, we detected inactivity during your current live. Okay. All right. Okay. So, thank you, Ladosha. She said here, some professionals are slow, some are fast, some are efficient, and others are proficient. And there's a difference. She right. Some are fast, some are slow, you know. Some gonna take your money. No, just kidding. All of them gonna get your money. And then Ladosha also says, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So back to find your flavor. We talked about cut quicker, stay sharp, but you also want to be mindful of quality and your efficiency. Both are key in our careers. Both are key within the industry. You want to make sure you look at that. And as our friend so famously said, you got to decide, because you're gonna have one or the other. If it's cheap, is and fast, you won't get the quality. So anyway, look at that. Client building starts now. While you're in school, honing in and building those relationships. People come to you because of who you are. They're connected to you. And I'm hearing this a lot. My clients open up and share. I ask them, about their choice in selecting me, sticking with me. I have some clients going on 2-3 years. I have a few where I'm literally in their budget. Of course, if they're coming to see me on the regular, I have to be in their budget in some way, shape, or form. But nonetheless, back to our students, client building starts now. I didn't have that opportunity in school because, once again, we went through during COVID. So I actually began to build my clientele once I got in the shop, and I started with zero, an egg, zero, like nothing. So what I did, I focused on one service. I created a flyer. It was a flyer for locks. And it was around this time when I started in the barbershop. I did a back to school special. My locks, my starter lock prices start at $195. And my lock retwist, which includes the shampoo, the retwist, and a basic style, is $135. And then my lock retwist and haircut is $175. In that, I focus on locks, because that's one thing that I could see when I walked through the mall. I focused on locks, and y'all, that's who I went up to, handed the card, told them they get a discount on their first service. Come see me. I built my clientele up like that. So it all depends on what it is, but your clientele starts here. So like I said, I built my first client relationships, or I built them based on a service, and that was lock maintenance service that I started doing. I didn't even focus on starter locks. I focused on lock maintenance, and I ran a special. Sure did. And eventually I built up to I'm booked. So I built my first client relationships with you all. You want to build them long before you head into the shop. You build them there at the school. You cultivate them there at the school. You can do this in school. Your neighbors, your friends, get them to get on board to support you. But again, your professionalism, your presentation, how you carry yourself, you are your business. You are your business. And the other thing, feedback is fuel. Getting feedback, and I call it, you hear constructive criticism. I see that as a double negative. Now, hear me out when I say this. Constructive. Construct means to build, right? To build up. So constructive criticism, I'm looking at, okay, if you building, and criticism, that's tearing down. So I always say constructive comments, okay? Constructive comments, because we want the comments to be constructive. Now, you might not like the messenger, but look at the comments. I mean, look at the constructive comments. So again, feedback builds fuel. Every critique sharpens your skill. You look at what it is that they're saying. I know sometimes the delivery can throw you off, but kind of try to put that to the side and look at the message that's being shared with you. Constructive comments. Every critique sharpens your skill. I've lived this truth. I've lived it. So I got to tell y'all this. So cutting in the barbershop, we in a space where we see all races of people, all cultures, all ages of people. I told y'all I specialize in textured hair care, natural hair, textured hair care, and barbering, right? Well, my instructor used to tell me, you got to learn how to cut all hair so you can be versatile. Well, long story short, I can cut all textures, straight, textured, curly, over curly, under curly, all of it. But I specialize in textured hair care and barbering. I bring it up because I say that I've lived it. I took those constructive comments to learn to cut all textures, because not only would it open up, make me more versatile. So on the days that I might not have had a lot of clients, guess what? I can catch a few walk-ins, whether they textured or straight hair. I can catch a few walk-ins because I can cut their hair as well. So feedback is fuel. So once again, for our second year students, find your flavor, cut quicker, stay sharper. In other words, your quality and efficiency. Remember the video. Let me replay that one more time.
Fast,
Hold
you want it
on.
done cheap, and you want it done really well, you probably can't have all three of those things. When it comes to business services, you can really only have two out of those three: fast, cheap, or high quality. Now, this has two implications from the business owner perspective and from the person buying these services. If you're buying these services, which one do you prioritize? The quality? If so, it's probably not going to be done fast, or it won't be done cheap. If you want it done cheap, it could be fast, but it might not be high quality. So you have to pick which one are you willing to sacrifice. If you're the business owner providing these services, which one do you want to be to the customer? Do you prioritize high quality, or do you want to be the cheaper option, a little bit less quality, but able to provide that service really fast? So when you're going to make a decision, you have to understand what you prioritize and what you provide.
All right. So once again, if you're cutting quicker, stay sharp. But remember quality and efficiency. All right, because people want the quality in their cut, especially if they paying a lot of money. They don't want to feel like they're being rushed out of the chair, you rushing through the cut and messing them up. The next thing is building clientele. Building clients starts now. Build on those relationships. Thank you. Build on those relationships. You know, you in it for the long haul. You cultivate those relationships, take care of the people, they're going to take care of you, and they're going to stick in there with you. No matter where you go, they're going to stick with you. Some of them will fall off, but that's okay. But the ones that ride with you, they're going to ride with you. They don't care where you at, they're going to follow you. All right. And the last thing, feedback builds fuel. So I say constructive comments, but whatever you say, every critique sharpens your skill. There's something that you can pull out of it. You may not like the messenger. You might not even like the message, but there's something that you can pull out of that conversation or critique to sharpen your skills. And I'm going to tell you, I've lived that truth, because now I'm versatile and cut in all textures, even though I specialize in natural hair, textured hair care, locks, braids, twists, all of that. But I still can cut anything that comes through the door. So as a quick recap for those of you who are just not popping on and tuning in, she says, great video. Thank you, LaDosha. I thought it was a good point to throw in there as it relates to cut quicker, stay sharp. And I know you want to maximize that time, but you also want to make sure that the clients don't feel like they being rushed and you taking $50, $60 from them, but you only you cut them in 15 minutes. They ain't gonna go for that. So quality and efficiency. But as I was saying, I want to do a quick recap. We talked about those who are considering barbering, thinking about going into barbering. We shared some quick tips or some things that you might want to look into, some things you want to consider as it relates to barbering. If you missed that, rewind to the beginning and you'll catch that first video. But you want to set your expectations. Remember your why, because life is going to happen. Look at the program. And as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, if you are in high school, and you're considering it, I strongly advise you to take it while you're in high school. The cost is minimal. You'll make that back in tips, okay? You'll make it back. All right. Depending on where you are, it probably range anywhere from $500 or $600 to no more than probably about $1,000, if that. And I say it depends on where you are in school. Thank you so much. LaDosha says, great advice. I strongly advise you to take it. The other reason why I advise you to take it while you're in school, you get the 2 years. You get that quality time. The classes are smaller. You can really get into your instructor's pockets, really get into their brain, because they got that time to spend with you. Then you come back in for another year to fine tune your skills, hone in on as you prep for state board, which I say start prepping day one for state board, not to put the pressure on, but it's going to come before you know it, and soon you'll be there. So you want to start prepping, get in the habit of studying, going over your material, putting time in, setting aside time to study. So I also mentioned that I'm going to come back with some content on those of you who are considering barber school. So stay tuned for that. And our first year barber students, you're going to learn before you earn. You get some tips, but we're talking about real earning potential is going to come once you've completed the program. Sanitation equals reputation. Them clients look at that. And I be watching them, watching me, watching them, seeing how I operate. But clients see that, And once again, I talk about that, how I viewed my mom, watched my mom, in the book Heritage of Hair. Ask, practice, repeat. You want to ask the questions, you want to practice, put that theory to work, figure out what works, what don't, make the adjustments, and repeat. By asking questions and putting in the hours, you're going to get it. It's going to happen. And look the part. Please look the part. You are your business. People look at you. They see you. You're the face of your business. So look the part. Even as a student, your appearance matters. So you take it serious, because people going to take you serious and they're going to look at you. You might not get a second chance to make a first impression again. All right. The second year students. So this is geared to my high school students or those who are in the second half of their program. You've gotten halfway through the program. Find your flavor. Like me, natural hair, texture hair care, and barbering. You can find yours too. Quick. We say cut quicker, stay sharp. But remember, quality and efficiency. You want to be able to balance that out, because as our friend in the video said, cheap, fast, high quality. Something's going to be sacrificed in there. And if people are paying their money, they're not going to want to feel like you rushing them or you rushing through their cut. Hey, make them feel like you spending that time with them. All right. Don't cheat them. Client building starts right now with you all. And as I shared with you all, I didn't have any clients when I left school because of my situation. I shared with you all how I built my clientele. I focused on one thing, and that was lock maintenance, retightening. And I honed in on that. I ran a special during this time a couple years ago for $35 off that service. And that's how I built it. That's how I built it. All right. And then the last is feedback is fuel. I say constructive comments. Some people might say constructive criticism. Constructive comments. There's something in every critique that you can take from it. You might not like the message or the messenger, but look at the message and see how that information can help you be a better barber or better stylist, better master barber, barber stylist. Just look at the information. Okay. I've lived this truth too. I might not have always liked the messenger or even liked the message they were saying, but I had to humble myself, look within, and look at what was being said. And sometimes how they said can come across and, you tune out quick, but just take it in, because it's only going to help you get better. Or like they say, take the good, put the other stuff, and put that on the shelf and just leave the other stuff. LaDosha Yah-Tay says, I think people lately think because anything goes in this world, they don't have to put in any effort into their work as they should. People are living by the get over it if my looks offend you. Yes, they are. I see quite a bit of that in this industry, but yeah, I'm gonna read it again. What Yah-Tay said. I think people lately think because anything goes in the world, they don't have to put in any effort into their work as they should. People are living by the get over it. If my looks offend you, yeah, they're gonna get over it and keep getting up the road. Those clients are, that is. They're going to bypass you, go to the next person who's going to look out for them and take care of them. So I want to remind you all that my book, A Heritage of Hair, is proof that barbering is more than a skill, y'all. It's proof that barbering is more than a skill. It's a story, a calling, and a way to serve the community, because I serve the community. I'm serving the community in a different way now, but yet I'm still connected to the community. But this is my story. Uh, yeah, it's my calling, which is why I say I get a second chance at a first love. So you are not just cutting hair. You're not just styling hair. I know you're beginning. Some of you are beginning. Some of you are already in the program. You know, some of you might be in the field and been in the field. We're not just styling. We're not just cutting. We're adding to our legacy, one client at a time. So when you think about it from that perspective, you always want to be as on top of your game as you can. And once again, in this business, we are our business. We are the face of our business. We the business. So we got to look the part. We got to play the part. We got to be the part. we got to do it. We got to do it. So I want to ask y'all to follow Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist. That's Yhatay, the Barber Stylist, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Please subscribe to our channel, Real Roots TV. If you're on Facebook, please go over to Real Roots TV on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Instagram fam, go ahead on and subscribe to the channel. All right. Subscribe to the podcast as well. And then check out A Heritage of Hair. It's real life inspiration, y'all. And I'm not just saying it because it's me, but I tell my mom's story, how she persevered through it to get her license, because she went through her high school program during the time that she was in school. So she finished her senior year, but I'm not going to tell you all the story now. She finished her senior year, but it took her some years before she actually got licensed. So that took perseverance. It took determination. It took faithfulness, that I'm going to get it done. She remembered her why, and I think my siblings and I were part of the why I got to get it done. But it's a real life inspiration, and I share a lot of things. For those of you who don't know me, I tend to be a very private person, but in this book, I open up and I share a lot. And it is my hope that it will inspire you as well. So real life, real situations, real talk. Uh, I share some stuff. And I also share the moment that turned it all around for me and pointed me in the direction to doing hair. And even with that, when I said, Lord, I surrender, it still took some time before the vision manifest. But read about that in here. If you got the book and you would like your seal, award-winning book seal, reach out to me and I can get that to you. If you're here locally in Columbia, South Carolina, and you've published the book, reach out to me and I will get you the seal, and I will also sign the book for you. If not, there's a QR code in the banner. There's a link on the Instagram page that takes you right to the Amazon store to purchase the book. If you got Amazon, let's see, you can get it in 2 days. If you have Amazon. If you don't have Amazon, you're gonna have to wait for it. You're gonna have to wait, but scan that QR code. It'll take you to the book on Amazon. You can get it in 2 days. If you're here locally, like I shared, come see me and I will get you your official seal and sign the book for you. That's all I have. Thank you all for tuning in. My barbering students, this your first year, second year, you're considering it. Step out there, make the move. You're in school, maximize that time. Glean all you can from your instructors. Lay your foundation for success. Build your clientele. Get that feedback. Work it. Ask questions. Practice and repeat. That's all I have. Thank you all for tuning in to episode 30 of Female Barber Talk. And this was Barber School 101 and 201, from classroom clippers to career cuts. That's all. Thank you, Yah-Tay. Thank you, LaDosha. Thank you, those of you who are on Instagram tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to my TikTok fam. I appreciate you all too. And we're going to call it a night. Thank you. I'm Yah-Tay Keaton, also known as Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist, your host of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. And we're going to call it a good night. Yah-Tay says thank you so much for these great discussions. Good night, LaDosha. Good night, Yah-Tay. See you all tomorrow. Yes. Thank you. Enjoy.
Naturals.